Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. Well, I want to spend a few minutes, just a few minutes today, sharing with you my thoughts on a recent Arrow video release. This is a title that came out last week as part of Robocop Spider-Man No Way Home week. And this is a film that I'll just tell you right off the bat that I really enjoyed quite a bit, and it is Robocop. This is the 1987 film directed by Paul Verhoeven, and it is in 4K Ultra HD in this Arrow Video limited edition release. Now, I have just started getting into Arrow Video, just started collecting Arrow, and I've got to tell you, I am really impressed with these limited editions from this label. Of course, I've heard of Arrow for a number of years, but I've never gotten into them until just recently. Last month in the month of March, I picked up An American Werewolf in London 4K limited edition set from Arrow Video. Absolutely blew me away. I love the packaging. I love the film. The presentation looked great. I mean, it was just a top-notch release. And then Arrow puts out this release, Robocop, that I had a chance to go through last week that I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm going to talk with you about this film that I saw for the first time. I'll talk about the video and the special features in just a moment. But then I also, today, Amazon delivered Dario Argento's Deep Red, the limited edition of that film. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. So I'm slowly building my Arrow video collection. So I'm really excited about Arrow. Of course, I'm gonna have a live stream on this very soon. So I'm looking forward to that with some guests, Ken from Mid-Level Media, Tim from Tim Talks Talkies, Ryan from Movies with Ryan, as well as David from Film Collector Archive. So very much looking forward to that panel discussion. It's basically Arrow video collecting for newbies. So people like myself, what are some Arrow titles to get started on when you first start collecting Arrow video? Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, this one here might be a good place to start. This is Robocop, the 1987 film from director Paul Verhoeven, starring Peter Weller and Nancy Allen. And I really, really enjoyed this movie. Like I've never seen this film before I saw it last week. And I was absolutely blown away by this movie. Of course, I've heard of Robocop through the years. I've heard of it, right? And I had this idea in my mind that it was just some campy B movie. You know, I didn't really ever take it seriously. And I certainly never thought of it as any movie that I needed to really ever see, really, to be honest with you. And so I've never really seen the movie. I've seen probably bits and pieces of it. I've heard of it, but didn't really think much of it. So I watched it for the first time last week and was blown away by this film. The depth of the story, the characters, just how well written this movie is. I was really blown away by this film. So I think part of what makes Robocop work is several things. One, I think the writing is excellent. I think the casting decisions that went into all of these characters, of course, starting with Peter Weller here, who played the title character Murphy in Robocop. Of course, you have Nancy Allen here, who played his police partner, Lewis, in this film. That's her right here. You also have this gang here, led by Kurtwood Smith, the actor. He led this gang of criminals called the Boddicker Gang. And you have this evil corporation here, the Omni Consumer Products Corporation. They play a very important role in this film. Of course, you look on the back of this set, you have the symbol for Omni Consumer Products. They are the evil corporation in this film. So this film takes place in Detroit. It's in a dystopian future of Detroit. And of course, this film was actually filmed in Dallas, Texas, but the film takes place or is set in Detroit in a dystopian future. Peter Weller plays a cop named Murphy. His partner is Lewis, played by Nancy Allen. They are basically manipulated into getting into an interaction with this evil gang, the Boddicker Gang, who really mess up Murphy. They shoot him up, and his body is just completely mangled. And so the evil corporation, Omni Consumer Products, take advantage of that situation and use him to become their prototype Robocop. And of course, they work with the city to put Robocop into action. And of course, the narrative sort of plays out from there. His memories are initially suppressed but then they slowly come back over the course of the film, and you sort of let the narrative play out from there. I don't want to spoil this film, but this film is very much about the interaction between this evil corporation, this robot, and his partner, and their fight for justice and fighting against this evil gang here, the Boddicker gang. So those are sort of your main characters and factions in this story. So it's a very fascinating story, fascinating premise that I was just blown away by how much depth there is to this film that I never before would have realized, was in this movie. So it's one of those pleasant surprises to realize that a movie that you had written off for years as being this campy film actually has a lot more substance to it than I ever thought. So I was blown away by that, but I was also blown away by the 4K visuals of this disc these discs actually, because you get the director's cut on disc 1. So that's the director's cut, and that's the version I actually watched. And then you also get on disc 2 the theatrical cut. So you get 2 cuts of the film, 2 discs, and you get a ton of special features on here. But I'm here to tell you, from a picture quality standpoint, this 4K restoration with Dolby Vision HDR, it's also compatible with HDR10. This presentation looks very, very nice. They did a great job restoring this film. The first 3 minutes of this film is going to look a little bit on the rough side because it's showing you archival footage. It has almost this VHS type look to it. But once you get past that 3-minute mark and you get into the film proper, and it shows that nice opening shot of the Detroit police headquarters and takes you into the headquarters, and you really get into the narrative of the film. You're introduced to Peter Weller's character and all the characters in that police precinct, and the narrative begins. This film looks clean, it looks rich, it looks organic. It just has this very nice image quality to it. There's a lot of depth to the image, a lot of clarity. It just looks super clean and super rich and organic, and it has this nice 3-dimensional quality to it. So the picture doesn't look flat at all. It looks nice and detailed with some nice depth to it. So there's nice separation of the characters and elements in the foreground versus in the background. You really get that nice separation with this image on this disc, on both of these discs. And I was very impressed by it. I think what I was impressed most by from a picture quality standpoint was how well the night scenes looked. I mean, the night scenes looked, frankly, they looked absolutely amazing. I mean, there were like scenes where you saw explosions, like cars being blown up, and those explosions and the colors just looked absolutely fantastic. And just the way that the image looked, whether it's the neon signs or just the rain-soaked streets, I mean, everything just popped off the page, just looking really clean, really organic, and just looked fantastic. This is a beautiful looking film on 4K Ultra HD. You're not going to mistake this for a film that's brand new. It's not going to look as good as like a No Time to Die. It's not going to look as good as Gemini Man. It's not going to look like that, quite like that. This is a 35-year-old film, but this film looks absolutely clean and beautiful, and they did a fantastic job of restoring this image. As far as the audio is also very strong. You get several audio options, lossless stereo and 4-channel mixes. You get DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and Dolby Atmos. Now, I don't have Dolby Atmos. I don't have that set up, but I do have a 7.1 set up in my sound system. And the sound overall just sounded really, really nice. Great. And it complements the video very, very well. I think one of the standout pieces of this whole release, in addition to the movie being great, it looking and sounding great, you also get a ton of special features on both of these discs. So all the special features are absolutely worth going through. You get a couple of commentaries on here, which is just absolutely amazing. And you get several interviews on these discs with various players in the production of the film. Probably, I would say 2 of the standout interviews would be the interview with Nancy Allen. She does a really nice job talking about the process of casting her character and how much she wanted this role, and the work that she put into bringing Lewis to life in this picture, and her working with Peter Weller and working with the director. I really enjoyed her interview, and I've seen her on other features, on other discs, and I think in other films. And she's always a joy to listen to, and this is no exception on this release. The Nancy Allen interview, great to listen to. There's also a nice feature on here named Casting Old Detroit, an interview with casting director Julie Seltzer. So she talks about how she worked with the team to cast this film, which of course has all these great characters. You have Ronnie Cox here playing one of the evil leaders of this corporation, Omni Consumer Products. You have Peter Weller casting his very important character, casting Nancy Allen, casting the members of the Boddicker gang. All of those casting decisions and working with each of those actors in their roles was a big part of what made this film a success. And so Julie Seltzer, that interview was also really, really fascinating. So definitely recommend that. But really all the features on here are well worth going through, including all the features on the second disc. There's more features on the theatrical cut disc as well. And they're all worth going through because for me, having never seen this film before, I had no idea what the history of this film was or what the production was that went into this film. And just simple things like all of the work in bringing the Robocop character to life, and the 6-hour process of makeup for Peter Weller in being able to embody this character on screen. So just so much that went into it. Just a fantastic, fantastic set of special features that talks a lot about how this character was brought to screen and brought to life. So all I can tell you is check out all the special features. Watch the movie, enjoy the film, and then go through all of these features because they really help you better understand this film, the production process, the director, Nancy Allen, Peter Weller, everything that went into the technical aspects of this film and bringing Robocop to life. And I love the set design of this film. This film just looked absolutely amazing in those nighttime scenes, but then also in that industrial warehouse type areas that they would go to. It's just phenomenal all the way around. Looks good, sounds great, and the special features are absolutely amazing. So I could go on and on. I won't. I'll just leave it there. I'll just tell you that Robocop 4K Ultra HD limited edition from Arrow Video is absolutely highly recommended. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check out my unboxing video of this release from Arrow Video, definitely check it out. I go into more detail on what's included in this package, but this package is just absolutely phenomenal. It is phenomenal. It is A1. It is fantastic. I cannot tell you how impressed I am. This is the J card. I cannot tell you how impressed I am overall with these Arrow Video releases. These Arrow Video limited editions are absolutely phenomenal. I'll just go ahead and send it. This is what just came in the mail, Deep Red, the Dario Argento film. I am so looking forward to going through this one here. Just wait. But I'm just looking forward to more greatness from Arrow Video. This film, Robocop on 4K Ultra HD, simply comes with my highest recommendation. It is probably, well, actually not probably, this is so far one of my favorite releases overall of the year. That's how good this release is, and that's how strongly I recommend this title. Highly recommended. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this film, Robocop? What do you think of the film? What do you think of Paul Verhoeven's films in general? What is your favorite film from director Paul Verhoeven? And also let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite role from Nancy Allen? Of course, she's also played in Carrie, she played in Blowout, she's played in Robocop, she's played in other amazing films. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite role that Nancy Allen has played in? Let me know that in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.